When was the last time you were truly bored? Not for a few seconds, not while waiting for a video to load, not while switching between apps. Truly bored. No screen, no music, no notifications, no distraction. Just you and your thoughts. For most of human history, this experience was normal. People waited. People wandered. People stared at ceilings. People sat in silence. Today, something has changed. The moment boredom appears, many of us instinctively reach for something else.
The modern world is remarkably good at preventing boredom. A few seconds in an elevator. Check your phone. Waiting in line. Check your phone. Sitting on a train. Check your phone. A quiet moment appears. Content arrives. A pause appears. Entertainment arrives. Silence appears. Noise arrives. For the first time in human history, millions of people carry an endless stream of stimulation in their pocket, available at any moment, anywhere, anytime.
At first, this sounds like progress. After all, why would anyone want to be bored? Boredom feels uncomfortable, restless, annoying, something to escape. But what if boredom served a purpose? What if removing boredom created consequences we never expected? Because sometimes, the most important parts of human experience are the ones we try hardest to avoid. Think about what happens during a normal day. You finish reading a message. A few seconds of silence appear. You open another app. A video ends. A few seconds of silence appear. You scroll again. A conversation pauses. A few seconds of silence appear. You check your phone. The reaction is almost automatic. Not because anyone taught us to do it, because the habit developed naturally. The modern world rewards constant stimulation, and boredom struggles to compete.
There was a time when waiting was unavoidable. You waited for the bus. You waited for a friend. You waited for a letter. You waited for information. And during those moments, something interesting happened. The mind wandered. Ideas appeared. Memories resurfaced. Questions emerged. People daydreamed. They reflected. They imagined. Not because they wanted to, because there was nothing else to do.
Scientists often describe the mind as having two modes. One focused on tasks, the other wandering freely. When the mind wanders, it connects ideas, revisits experiences, imagines possibilities, solves problems in unexpected ways. Many creative insights don't appear during intense concentration. They appear afterward, during a walk, a shower, a quiet drive, a moment of boredom. In other words, the moments we often dismiss may be doing important work.
Imagine standing in line for coffee. 10 years ago, you might have looked around, watched people, thought about your day, planned something, remembered something. Today, many people reach for their phone before the boredom even arrives. Not after a minute, not after 30 seconds. Sometimes after only a few seconds. The silence never has a chance. The boredom never arrives. The mind never wanders. And because it happens so often, most people never notice it happening at all. For most of human history, stimulation was limited. Today, it is endless. Videos, messages, podcasts, music, news, short-form content, long-form content, recommendations, notifications. The stream never ends. And that's what makes this moment unique. For the first time in history, human beings can avoid boredom almost completely. Not occasionally, not temporarily, continuously.
Every technology solves a problem, but every solution creates new trade-offs. The modern world solved boredom, or at least it appeared to. But what if boredom wasn't the real problem? What if boredom was a signal pushing people toward reflection, creativity, exploration, and imagination? If that's true, then removing boredom may also remove some of the benefits that came with it. Many people believe technology eliminated boredom, but that's not exactly what happened. Humanity didn't solve boredom, it replaced it with stimulation. And those are not the same thing. Boredom is an internal experience. Stimulation is an external experience. One comes from within, the other comes from outside. For thousands of years, people moved between both states naturally. Moments of stimulation, moments of boredom, moments of activity, moments of reflection. Today, that balance is changing. The moment boredom begins to appear, stimulation rushes in to replace it. A notification, a video, a message, a scroll, a click, and slowly, an experience that was once a normal part of life begins to disappear. The value of boredom was never boredom itself. The value was the space it created. Space to think, space to reflect, space to imagine, space to connect ideas. Most people don't enjoy being bored. That's perfectly normal. But some of the mind's most important work happens in those empty spaces. The problem is that empty spaces are becoming increasingly rare. Not because humans changed, because the environment changed. Imagine sitting in a room with nothing to do. No notifications, no videos, no music, no distractions. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. The mind searches for stimulation, something to consume, something to check, something to watch. But if you stay there long enough, something else often appears. A memory, an idea, a question, a realization. The very things constant stimulation leaves little room for. Perhaps the greatest cost of constant stimulation isn't distraction, it's displacement. The displacement of reflection, the displacement of imagination, the displacement of boredom itself. Because boredom was never the enemy, it was the doorway. A doorway to curiosity, creativity, self-reflection, and independent thought. Humanity didn't eliminate boredom. It eliminated many of the moments where boredom used to exist. And in doing so, it may have removed something far more valuable than we realized: the opportunity to be alone with our own minds. If you enjoy documentaries about digital psychology, technology, internet culture, and the future of human behavior, consider subscribing. And tell us in the comments, when was the last time you experienced genuine boredom? Not for a few seconds, but long enough for your mind to wander. This is Nexora, Inside the Modern World, exploring how technology, artificial intelligence, and digital systems are reshaping human behavior and the future of society. Because sometimes the biggest changes are not the technologies we create, but the experiences we quietly leave behind. And boredom may be one of them. See you in the next episode.